In 2023, a then big, fat, positive influencer decided to go on TikTok and ditch the movement, the entire thing. She pretty much opened up her eyes to what fat positive actually was slash is. Then she went on TikTok and she simply told her truth. The name of this influencer is Gabriella Lascano. And I remember at the time how much backlash she got from simply speaking not only her truth, but the truth, period. And she got like completely bashed by other members of the so called fat acceptance, health at every size movement that preach body autonomy, that you can do whatever you want with your body. But when it comes to actually putting that in practice for others, well, guess what? The story is very different. And 2 weeks ago, Gabriella Lascano made headlines again because she went on the New York Times to tell her story. And to no surprise, there were also people on TikTok completely, I don't know, like making up stuff that she didn't say. So let's unpack this big story. But before we do that, hi, my name is Ira. Welcome back to my channel. I talk about fat talk, fat acceptance, and all these shenanigans. So if you like to talk about that, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have been called fatphobic for simply stating the truth, stating the facts, and we're simply saying that if you eat a lot and you get fat, your body will show that, and that will, I'm not saying that you're ugly. I'm not saying that you deserve to be, I don't know, ostracized because of that. But I can't with the lies that the fat acceptance movement tells people. I used to be fat, class 1 obese, but thankfully not anymore. So to begin to unpack this story, let's first watch the video that Gabriella did back in 2023. And thank you so much for Megan and for having this video, because I was trying to find like the entire video uncut, and Megan and did us like this big favor. So let's watch the video she posted in 2023.
I'm gonna say something controversial and I don't care. I don't care how trendy or cute or fun it seems to be fat. Don't let that shit fuck with your head. Don't let the idea that, oh, I could catch a dick no matter how big I am, cause you to forget about your health and to keep gaining weight. I actually feel kind of guilty for being a part of this movement. And I know it's not my fault or my responsibility to keep other people's health, but being a pioneer in this game, like I literally was one of the first influencers to work with Fashion Nova before they even had a plus size line. So when I say I'm a pioneer, I'm a pioneer. I'm one of the main reasons why we have the plus size fashion industry that we have. And you could argue with anybody, that's the truth. And my point is that I see a lot of fat girls who gain a lot of weight from being caught up in this movement and turning around 5, 6, 7 years later talking about, damn, I let my health go to shit. I got this problem now. I'm 400 pounds. I can't do this. I can't do that. Babe, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Being attractive, being able to still wear nice clothes is not the end all be all. You got to really think about your health. Because when you're in your 20s, you think that life is just rainbows and candy. You don't even think about the future. But when you start creeping up in age, babes, it's gonna catch up to you. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not saying that every fat person is unhealthy. Hello, I'm fat. I'm not claiming that you gotta hate fat people. That's literally the opposite of what I'm saying. But let's be fucking for real. Health is real. Organs failing is real. Diabetes, heart disease, all that shit is real, okay? It's not fat phobic to care about your health. And if nobody else wants to say it, let me fucking tell you the truth. Love yourself at any size. Wear the clothes you want to wear. But don't forget that your heart has to beat, babes. Don't forget that your blood sugar has to keep a balance, babe. No amount of Instagram pictures looking cute and being an influencer wearing a size whatever you are is going to stop your heart from not beating if you eating bacon every day. And this is coming from someone who's learning those fucking those lessons now myself. So to the younger girls, the younger generation, take care of your health. It's not fat phobic to take care of your health. It's not a joke. And I'm saying this out of love, not out of self-hate. I see a lot of my fellow content creator, fellow plus size, fellow bloggers, whatever you want to call them, plus size models, now talking about wanting to get healthy, now talking about needing to da 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 da. Because 5, 6, 7 years ago, when they were 22, when they were 21, 25, it wasn't a problem. Now you're 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, whatever the case is, and you're like, damn, I can't get pregnant. I have this problem. I got that problem. The problems creep up, babe. And the reality is, loving yourself also includes taking care of your body. If you want this body to last 100 years, you got to take care of it. So don't let nobody else convince you that taking care of your health is fat phobic. And if somebody's telling you that, it's because they're miserable and they want you to die and stay fat like them. I took a lot of heat when I started talking about my weight loss journey, and now everybody else suddenly want to talk about it. I wonder why.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I just let her take the microphone. And she said what pretty much every person that advocates against the body positivity movement says, that, you know, your body weight will reflect on your health, period. I mean, and she says, like, taking care of your body is not fat phobic, but lying to people and saying that they can be at any size, that they can be healthy at every size, it's cruel and it's so vicious. And not being open about, some people cannot tie their shoes because of their weight. And I'm just talking about like mundane stuff. Let's talk about, well, health problems, diabetes, having to maybe amputate a limb. We're not talking about you have to hate fat people, you got to hate yourself, no. She's very clear. Love your body at every size, but be mindful, because what happens to many people that join that health at every size, what do? They gain weight. And they start gaining weight because, it is the greatest thing ever. And they start going on TikTok and they start telling other people, hey, don't worry about your weight. BMI is effed up. And guess what? Years later, they start showing health problems, but they go on TikTok and they say, no, everything is fine. I have no problem. Everything is fine. But I remember at the time that Gabriella got a lot of backlash because of a video where she's clearly being truthful and honest. And the New York Times posted a opinion piece named Confessions of a Former Body Positivity Influencer. We're not going to read everything, but she says something that for me, it's really true, is amid this current weight loss revolution, the movement body positivity is facing an existential crisis. And I do agree with that. I think the body positivity is losing, it's losing people. People now with GLP-1 are losing weight. And people are getting older and they're starting to, like she said in the video, like feel the consequences of their weight. So, and people are starting to open their eyes. It goes on that others reject weight loss drugs. And I think that's a very personal choice, regardless if you are part of the body positivity movement or not. Fearing that thing is now back, and with it, fat phobia. Two things about this is that thin was never out, and fat phobia also was never out. I think with the body positivity movement, we've had some positive changes, like we've had more like in fashion, in the movie industry and all of that. But we have to remember that when a big like brand decide to go and embrace a movement, they do that because it's profitable. So if it's no longer profitable, they won't care about the movement. If tomorrow we become like the Handmaid's Tale, I assure you that Disney will not have a Pride Month, that brands will not put on a rainbow every June. What I really like about fat talk, fat positivity, is that some within the movement have also downplayed the health risks linked to obesity and even criticized those who choose to lose weight, prompting accusation of ignoring medical consensus. So, is it possible to love your body and want to change it?
Influencer, preaching a simple message: love yourself at any size. Then I risked it all. I don't care how trendy or cute or fun it seems to be fat. You gotta really think about your health. Love yourself at any size, but don't forget that your heart has to beat, babes. I'm gonna tell you how I got here. From championing body positivity to renouncing it. My story starts like this.
And it's very important to stress here that body positivity in its roots, was a very important movement that was completely taken over by fat acceptance and the idea that you can be healthy at every size, and that's where I think she's coming from.
Since I was a little girl, I always knew I was bigger. But I'm from the Bronx, where having a curvy body and a fat ass is what you want. When you're Latina, you get called gordita, and it's a term of endearment. Fluffy, like Gabriella Iglesias used to say.
I called myself fat around my mom, and she was like, "Mijo, you're not fat, you're fluffy."
It wasn't until college that I learned in the rest of the country, thinness is the beauty standard. Even worse, fat people are seen as lazy and dumb.
I'm doing horizontal running.
It wasn't just a fun thing.
Again, in that regard, I think fat positivity, like body positivity rather, was really important in terms of like representation, and not just like putting fat people on the box of the funny friend, the friend that is stupid, that it's clumsy and she falls all, 100%. I think that was really, really important.
To be fluffy, it was actually something people found disgusting.
Run for the hills! It's Fatzilla!
Studies show fat people are often treated worse in healthcare. And for women, the heavier we are, the less we're paid. I eventually learned that this discrimination has a name: fat phobia. I never planned on being a body positivity influencer. I wanted to be an actress, I wanted to be a star. I love Beyonce. But being plus size, I never felt like it was possible, and so I started my YouTube channel in 2010. Make like a
This is so reminiscent. Oh my God. The background. And let's just say like her makeup.
circle type of effect. But it's just a simple tank top, and it only costs like $13. That's when I started to get more attention from other plus size women about how empowered they felt watching my content. And that just made me feel like I had a bigger purpose in what I was creating. I started posting more intentionally. You woke up for a reason. You didn't wake up to feel bad about yourself. Sometimes about plus size fashion. They actually look like a legit 3X. They look big. Or travel. I deserve to be on this flight just as anyone else. Brands started sending me clothes to model. I have a collaboration with Boohoo. So I partner with GS Love Me. Thank you to Forever 21 for sponsoring this video. I was on magazine covers and making headlines. It was the late 2010s, and body positivity exploded.
Versace brand featured 3 plus-size models.
Full-figured, plus-sized lady.
American Vogue, Sports Illustrated.
A huge step forward for body positivity.
Like, just as, like, no, for me, this is crazy because,
Sports Illustrated.
A huge step forward for body
positivity. Oh my God. Sorry, I don't think she's fat. Call me crazy. I really don't think she's fat. I mean, she's a curvy woman with like big hips, thighs, but she's not fat.
Forward for body positivity.
Again, look at her. I mean, she's not like fat. You know, like she's not fat. Like, what is she doing here?
Seeing a community that welcomes you with open arms and tells you there's no pressure to look this way, to be this certain weight. I mean, does that not sound like paradise? Then,
Precisely.
over time, I got heavier and heavier. I've always been an adventurous person, but there was a lot I couldn't do anymore. Fitting into the seats on roller coasters, planes. I couldn't wear heels, my dresses wouldn't zip up. And that wasn't all.
Yeah, like, no. That's why you always usually see these girls on TikTok wearing flat shoes, and it's usually the same shoe that it's very easy. You just like put your feet and that's it. And can you imagine, like, as a person who loves fashion, who loves like traveling, doing stuff, and suddenly you say, oh, I can eat whatever because nothing's gonna happen to me, and then you start having your world, you start realizing like the world is not made for people my size, and that's not because of fat phobia. It's because humans are not meant to be this size, and I can no longer wear high heels. I don't wear high heels anymore, but that's a choice. You know, I made this choice because I find flat shoes more comfortable.
When you're bigger, you might not be able to wipe as well as a thinner person. You can't reach because there's no space. Some days I would look
Like if that's not a reason like enough to want to lose weight, like I want to be able to wipe and reach the places, you know, like to be clean. If that's not a reason, like that in and of itself, for me, should be a reason for a person to stop, think, consider it, and consider like, maybe, just maybe I should think about losing weight because I cannot wipe myself. Period.
at photos and not even recognize myself.
Like, look again, a look at the difference between 2018 and 2021. Look how much bigger she got in 3 years.
I'm only 5 feet tall, and at my heaviest, I was close to 400 pounds. I started to wonder if loving myself at any size had become an excuse to ignore how big I was getting. I felt like I saw myself being brainwashed, essentially. Meanwhile, the language around body positivity began
That's why I think body positivity is a cult.
sounding more extreme
There are
online.
a few words that I don't allow. Healthy is one
This
of them.
comes up a lot when I talk about how the word obese is a slur.
I don't want to step on the scale at the doctor's. I say, oh, I don't want to be weighed today.
Intentional weight loss is fat phobic.
This is what makes exercise fat phobic.
It's rooted in fat phobia. It's not rooted in.
You know what is ironic is that she is I don't know, on a GLP-1.
Exercise fat phobic.
It's rooted in fat phobia. It's not rooted in science. It doesn't work.
I've even seen celebrities being attacked for losing weight.
This morning, Kelly Clarkson facing criticism after revealing she's taking a prescription medication for weight
The
loss.
slim down star is facing criticism after her noticeable weight loss.
It wasn't all
You know, like, except like, apart from Lizzo, Kelly Clarkson and Adele were never advocates for that acceptance movement. Never. And they were just like simply attacked for losing weight, like as if they were traitors or something. And I remember at the time thinking they were never even part of the movement to begin with. Just like, what? But Lizzo is
always like this. Years before, I had often talked about weight loss without getting hate. The last couple days, I was feeling really like depressed. And I was like, I need to get my ass out there and work out.
Today's video is going to be a what I eat in a day video to lose weight.
But as the body positivity community became more radical, I was scared to say the wrong thing. So I stayed silent. Then my friend died. She
before we continue on with this story, I think that, and that's my opinion, I'm not throwing shade at anyone. That's what I think. That many people in this movement choose to stay in this movement. Number one, because all of their platform was built on being fat and the fact that you can be fat regardless of health or anything else. And because a lot of people like their their income is from like social media, and if they choose, they might be risking literally their like income, how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to afford their lifestyle and everything. So when you are tied to a certain movement, and in this case, a movement that will eventually cause you some harm, it's a very tricky like situation to leave it. And that's one of the reasons why I like commend Gabriella for having the guts to say, not me, not anymore. Kudos to her.
She was a body positivity influencer who founded the world's first plus-size salon.
All bodies, all sizes, and has custom chairs that hold up to 800 pounds.
She was just someone I consider like a big sister. Taught me about business and taught me about the movement. I worried about her a lot. After she was bedridden because of heart failure, Jamie expressed her desire to lose weight.
I haven't left the house in 2 years, and I just learned to walk again.
I really believe that she...
Listen to that. Listen, I haven't left the house in 2 years. I just want to be able to walk again. You see that happening to your friend, and you don't want the same thing to happen to you. So you make a decision, and people come after you for choosing to be able to walk, to wipe yourself, to get out of your house, to travel, whatever. Does it sound like sane? Does it sound like this is a movement that should be promoted, should be encouraged? For me, no.
He was going to make it out of it. But in late 2022, she died at 37, reportedly from
37. I'm 38. She was 37.
From heart complications.
Like, I didn't want her to feel like I was trying to tell her what to do, and I kind of wish I would have spoke up maybe more. And just let her know that I cared.
And she wasn't the only one. A week later, another body positivity influencer posted this video.
I ruined my life with food, binge eating, and lack of self-care. I'm hoping that it's not too late for me this time.
And when I talk, like people say, you're fat shaming, you're talking about her double chin. It's just like, call your attention. This is not normal. And I'm not like body shaming her. I'm just stating that this should not be happening.
Just months before, Brittany said she developed type 2 diabetes and serious weight-related skin infections.
So my pelvic region is literally the size of like a large purse. It's extremely swollen and hard.
1 week after posting that video, begging the universe for another chance at life,
it's really scary how bad things can get.
She died. She was 28.
28. And some body positivity girlies have the audacity to go and bash on GLP-1 medications. People will go on TikTok, see her saying that and be like, you are like betraying us. Like, come on.
I don't know for sure if Jamie and Brittany died because of their size, but hearing their own regrets, I couldn't help but think of myself. It was one thing to sacrifice my adventurous lifestyle. It was another to put my life at risk. And so I just pressed record and everything I said just came out.
I'm gonna say something controversial and I don't care. I actually feel kind of guilty for being a part of this movement. Health is...
Again, accountability. I feel guilty because I see the harm this movement does.
real. Organs failing is real. Diabetes, heart disease, all that is real, okay? It's not fat phobic to care about your health. And this is coming from someone who's learning those lessons now, myself.
And the backlash was massive.
Literally been seething with anger.
It's blowing my mind how fat phobic you've become.
You should know better and do better.
The body positivity community branded me a pariah. And so I left. I want to lose more weight, but I still feel a lot better than I did before. I feel a lot more like myself. Let me be clear. Not every fat person is unhealthy. Not every skinny person is healthy.
A viral rise in skinny talk.
Skinny talk, dark side of social.
Yes, you know, and I don't think skinny talk is a really nice place to go. And no. We don't do skinny talk here either.
Social media
Encourages disordered eating.
If you want to get skinny, you need to gaslight yourself to skinny.
View food as something
Gaslight yourself. Gaslight yourself. What?
that is optional always.
Not everyone can control their weight, and no one should be mistreated for it. But what's not...
Okay, that I will disagree with her. You can control your weight. Okay. I think there is a kind of like a spectrum of body sizes. And if you are within this spectrum, you are okay. But when you are obese, first thing you gotta do before even thinking about losing weight, you gotta think about stop gaining weight. Control that. And then you can start thinking about losing weight. My advice for a person who's obese is seek a dietitian, a meal plan that is going to be realistic to you. I like bread, I like rice, I like beans, and I eat all of that. I eat within a certain amount of calories a day, so you can control your weight.
Fat phobic is this. Being fat does increase your risk of health problems. Studies show obese people are about 6 times more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. We have a 28% greater risk of heart disease. We have higher risk for 13 types of cancer.
Like 28%, you got like higher risk for 13 types of cancer, especially colon cancer. That is one of the most aggressive types of cancer. It killed my dad. And when you're fat, you are like more likely to develop colon cancer.
7 times the risk for endometrial cancer. Up to 5 times the risk for esophageal cancer. Colon, rectal, pancreatic, kidney. Higher risk of strokes.
And by the way, colon cancer is very aggressive, but is still able to like cure. Pancreatic cancer, it's pretty much a death sentence.
We can still be body positive while acknowledging these risks. We can still love ourselves, even if we want to lose weight. That's what real body positivity should stand for. Loving yourself at any size and having the freedom to change it.
And not just loving yourself. I think when you love yourself, you acknowledge the risks of your choices. You acknowledge the risks of being fat, and you do something about it. Taking care of yourself is the greatest act of love you can show to yourself. But of course, what Gabriella said did not go unnoticed by the fat acceptance community, and she had responses that it made me wonder, like, did you even watch, like, because what happens many times nowadays is that people will hear you say something and they will repeat it without actually checking the source, you know, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's see some reactions that girls on TikTok had to say.
Well, I just saw Gabriella Lascano's newest video with New York Times, and we're going to talk about it. First and foremost, she has already been fat phobic. She put out this long drawn out statement a few years ago about how plus size people need to worry about their health, and just perpetuates to all the negative rhetoric.
You know, like, like when you're like speechless, like she said you should worry about your health. And that is fat phobic. Like what? Worry about your health. Phobic. Okay? So if you tell a smoker to stop smoking because to worry about their health, what are you?
Surrounding plus size people in her video, but now she's made this new video talking about the same thing. But yes, it is fat phobic. Yes, she's peddling the same harmful rhetoric, but what really caught my attention was the end of the video. The end of the video talks about not about anyone's health, not about anything like that. It talks about skinny talk. It talks about how you need to gaslight yourself into thinking food is optional. And
no, I cannot exist in the same world. Oh my God. Like she, they literally say that, okay, let's go back to the article and where it says a counter movement to the toxic beauty standard and weight loss frenzy that defined the early 2000s. They don't say you should be like, they say how toxic it is. Like
how you need to do all these crazy things just to get yourself not to eat. So basically what she's saying is that you should trade one eating disorder for another disorder. If you're on
Okay. I invite this creator to show me where exactly in the video did she say that. Because she said you can love your body at every size. But when you're obese, it comes with health risks. So you should take care of your body. Not once did she say, don't eat, y'all. I just want to go back to the video here and listen.
Let me be clear. Not every fat person is unhealthy. Not every skinny person is healthy.
A viral rise in skinny talk.
Skinny talk, dark side of social media.
Encourages
dark side of social media.
Disordered eating.
If you want to get skinny, you need
promotes disorder eating.
to gaslight yourself to skinny.
View food as something that is optional always.
Not everyone can control their weight.
And then she goes on to say whatever, not everyone can control. Like, are we just like pulling things out of our butts now to make our point?
Side of the spectrum, there's a risk, but they're using her as a pawn and she don't even realize it. And she contradicts herself so much. Like, body positivity is not only for plus size people. Body positivity
No. Initially it wasn't. But body positivity took over it. Fat acceptance took over it.
About loving yourself no matter what size you are. And that's what I tell all of my followers on all.
That's exactly what she's fucking saying. That's what she's saying. She says, like, you can love your body and still take care of it. People, like, oh no, it's like the first TikTok and I already want to jump out of my window.
Platforms. The saddest thing about Gabriella is that you can listen to the things she say and you can tell that she is incredibly self-hating. Like, she really, really hates herself. And she try to project that onto other plus size people who are
Oh, how ironic you bring projection here. How ironic. She lost her friend to obesity. And a week later, she saw a 28-year-old woman die. And she couldn't wipe herself anymore. And she decides to lose weight. How is that hating herself?
actually happy in their body. So she put out messages like that under the guise of trying to inform and encourage people to be more healthy. But what she's really trying to say is, I hate the fact that you're so comfortable in your body and you love yourself. So I don't want you to love yourself. So I'm going to say whatever I need to say to make you hate yourself. And what's crazy about all of this is that people like her get the most brand deals. Brands love to work with the most disingenuous people ever, but that's a whole nother topic.
I want to scream. I do. I want to scream. I want to scream. What the hell? What? Oh my God. Like, that was not the underlying message, honey. Like, I hate that you are so comfortable in your body. She says, love yourself at any size, but just be mindful of the risks and don't risk your life because a stupid movement said so. Let's move on to the next one because I think my blood pressure is like, I can't with this body positive, these people.
Not for you and me. The body positive movement was always to
Positivity to renouncing it.
It is not for you and me. The body positive movement was always to prove to doctors that we deserve equal medical practice. You guys have probably seen this video, right?
They just keep coming up with more, making up more lies. It was now it's for okay, it's for doctors now. The body positivity. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see what else she has to say about it.
I want to talk about it. This is off. This video is a little off. This video is the bootstraps version of people using our language incorrectly to make their point. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name's Amanda. I was discriminated against a doctor.
I don't think the New York Times would post a video and not disclaim that they were paid. And I don't follow Gabriella, but not once did she talk about GLP-1 medications. I mean, in the body of the text, they mentioned GLP-1, but never she said, oh, take a GLP-1.
Doctor avoided my stage 3 colon cancer instead of giving me proper testing because I was a size 14. Was this size. Likes to say the body positive movement is inherently problematic. Fat phobia still has to be unlearned inside of you.
The reason is because people have to unlearn it correctly
before you can present it to the world.
First of all, she says that, and I've shown this, like, not every skinny person is healthy, not every fat person is unhealthy. So that already destroys your whole argument there.
What do I mean? Fat phobia, the basis of the fat phobia and the body positive movement is to get proper medical care for everyone. I think people want to say it's like love your body.
Oh God. Manda, you are in the wrong movement, girl. I think you took the wrong lane and you entered the wrong building, because that's not what fat acceptance is. It is exactly about loving yourself at any size and not talking about and saying that your weight and health are completely unrelated. I don't think, I can't remember ever seeing a TikTok of a woman saying that I'm here because I'm advocating for proper care. No.
Get all size, yes, but that continues into the doctor's office. The body positive movement was always to prove to doctors that we deserve equal medical practice, period. We have something called
No. And I'm not saying I disagree with you. Quite on the contrary, I think women in general are like very mistreated in the like medical like field. Fat women even more. Sure, 100%. You should always get the proper care. Always, regardless of your gender, your weight. But that's not what body positivity is about.
the BMI, which is inherently
Okay, the BMI has been updated, and unless you are somehow an athlete and you have a lot of muscle mass, the BMI will apply to you. There's a reason doctors still use it. You know, throughout time, we've seen doctors like abandoning some practices because they have come to the conclusion they were not useful, they were harmful, they, you know, like served no purpose. And, you know, they're not using BMI because they are fat phobic. They're using BMI because BMI has some fundament to it. You know, like has some truth to it. It applies for most people. It applies to you. It applies to me.
problematic, and we like to diagnose things with it, even though it's problematic. We like to give medication off of this, even though it's problematic. No, we know that the BMI.
Look, I don't need BMI to look at you and say that you're fat. I don't need that.
Is problematic and inherently allows doctors to discriminate against bigger people. And this is the basis of the movement. Period.
That's not the basis of the movement. Period. Do doctors discriminate against fat people? 100%. Do fat people go misdiagnosed for years due to their weight? Oh, yeah. Do many doctors won't even look at a fat patient and say, oh, you just have to lose weight? Oh, for sure. That's not the base of the movement.
Is equal medical access for fat people like me. Hey.
Yes, that's what Samaya preaches every time she goes to a store and rips a jean or whatever. That's what she's been preaching all along. You know, the Harvard graduate? Yeah. Go to her TikTok right now. And that's all she talks about. Tess Holiday? Can't stop talking about it. All day. Every day. Go to her TikTok right now and you'll see how much she talks about it. I mean, I think you are the first person I hear talk about that equal health care treatment is and I'm being serious. She's the first one that says that. Because all they want is, oh, I want a free seat on the plane. I want 4X to be available at the store. I don't want to go to the doctor's office and and be wait. That's all they talk about.
Talking, right? And it doesn't mean that we have to be inherently healthy yet because we're seeing a doctor. We need that doctor to help us get healthy, right? How can we do that if that doctor inherently discriminates against us? Period. That is fat phobia. There it is. Done. Don't forget that the basis of the body positive movement and the fat phobia movement wasn't about you loving your body. It was about the doctor seeing your body as equal so they could give you equal care as everyone else. Amanda Lee, Google it with stage 3 colon cancer after it. You'll see many articles telling you about what I experienced.
Like I said, I mean, thank God you were able to get treated and get cured from stage 3 colon cancer. I mean, the last stage is stage 4. And again, I don't disagree with you that there is discrimination against women, and especially fat women, in the medical field. But that was never the body positivity movement's agenda, because the movement would not be so criticized. The movement would not be called a cult if that was it. And I don't understand you saying that. And then when people say, I have a medical condition, I need to lose weight, and then you have a backlash of people criticizing that person. Now on to the last video, people, because today is it's a tough one. It was a tough one. Whoa.
And the New York Times. You're gonna want to sit down for this. My problem.
What, you're gonna throw Michaela? You're gonna sit down for this?
With the video isn't Gabriella's personal experience. My problem is that she got online and without properly contextualizing the history and the nuances, she blamed body positivity. And all that has done is tell people waiting in the wings, it's all right, you guys, you can bully fat people again. Doctors.
Oh. She literally says the opposite in the video. She says the opposite in the video. She's, oh my God. She says, I feel like I can combust right now into flames. She never, like, and first of all, when she first came out with the video, she had no obligation to contextualize it for you. No obligation whatsoever. She was grieving the loss of a friend. She doesn't have to come, oh, I lost a friend. No. And yes, she said, I feel guilty because she showed in the New York Times video, you can compare her pictures before and after. And she says, like, body positivity made me come to a point where I could no longer do things I used to. Okay? She said, and body positive keeps saying that health and body and fat and body weight and fat are completely unrelated. So yes, body positivity is to blame.
As employers, you can discriminate against fat people. Shame them. You're justified now. The approach was incredibly irresponsible, and the result of this is going to be a lot of harm. Your video collapses.
What?
And the result of this is going to be a lot.
Yeah, well, hopefully it will be very catastrophic for the body positivity movement, because that'll reach more people that are in the movement, and they will make the conscious choice to fucking live it.
A lot of harm. Your video collapses medical neglect, personal health decisions, and a civil rights movement about dignity and access into one argument. What you're really responding to is not what body positivity started out as, but what it has become. And yes, that version.
Yes, precisely. So she doesn't, like, if I'm criticizing feminism, for example, I have to talk about what the movement has become now and not what it was. Because the now is what's affecting society and what's affecting people, for example. And again, I'm not, I consider myself a feminist, but I have a lot of criticisms about the movement and how like the way it's going. So it may have started, and it did start as a beautiful movement, but the now is the one that is problematic. So it doesn't matter what it once was.
Is toxic, but it's not because of fat people. It was never about ignoring your health. And as it went,
maybe it wasn't. But now it is. Because try telling, you just saw like 2 videos ago, a woman, or in the last video, a woman talking about BMI. We should not be used by doctors.
Mainstream, which is about the time you, Gabriella, began as a creator, the original message was watered down. It got co-opted by fitness influencers and brands that profited
No, we got co-opted by fat people.
Off of using fat bodies and fat influencers to promote their version. Because of what the body positivity movement became as we got closer to 2020, the movement fractured. Body positivity was still there, but again, it was a whole bunch of fitness influencers and it was more about aesthetic. Body neutrality rose up, and that asked us to look more at what our body can do for us as opposed to what it looks like. And then you had fat liberation. That returned to the original roots of the body positivity movement, confronting anti-fat bias and the conditional dignity given to fat bodies. In the video,
is she talking about against fat liberation? Has she mentioned fat liberation in the video? Or is she talking about fat positivity?
You mentioned that throughout your career, you had gained weight and gotten to 400 pounds. I gained 100 pounds. And at my highest weight, I was 425 pounds. I've since lost about 100 pounds, but I didn't get online and blame body positivity because it wasn't body positivity that led to my weight gain.
Yes, correlation does not equal causation. You're right, 100%. However, people in the body positivity movement, look at Tess Holiday, how she was and now how she is. They tend to gain weight because the movement itself says that you can eat whatever you want. You have a bunch of videos on TikTok. What I eat in a day as a girl who just does not care about losing weight. And what you see is people eating like a lot of calories. People simply neglecting their bodies and their health and saying that, oh, I'm doing this and I don't care about being fat.
It was going through a divorce, depression, and trying to survive a very challenging season in my life. And it just makes me wonder, Gabriella, like, what are you going through? And what might you be trying to survive right now that had you not only turned to food to cope, which is a totally normal reaction, there's no shame in that, but it also has you blaming a movement that was seemingly there for you in your hardest moments. To anyone,
it was not there for her, because instead of making her seek help, instead of telling her, seek help, seek medical treatment, treat your depression, treat whatever it is that it's making you like gain weight, they said, you know what? That is fat phobic. That is fat phobia. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your weight. The body positivity movement was not there for her. The body positivity movement was tricking her into eating more. And she was listening to that and regurgitating that to other people. And that's why she said that she felt guilty. So I don't understand how you fail to see that. It was never there for her. The body positivity, she got like Lisa got backlashed for losing weight, Adele, and so many other people. So how can you come here with and say that the body positivity movement was there for her? It was the body positivity movement is there for those who are willing to follow whatever they say. You how dare you criticize whatever they preach? How dare you? How dare you intentionally lose weight? Because intentional weight loss, it's fat phobic according to body positivity.
Feeling unsettled by this video, let me be very clear. Your worth is not tied to your weight. You do not.
Yes. And she made that very clear in that video. I don't think you've seen it. Because what you're saying, where are you taking this from?
not owe anybody health to be deserving of dignity and respect. And if
I agree. And that's why pretty much in all my videos, I say, I do not wish people to be unhealthy. I do not wish people to get sick, but I couldn't care less about these fat influencers' health. If they don't care about their health themselves, I'm not going to be the one to care about their health. My problem is when they come on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, and make these false claims that you can eat whatever you want, you don't need to exercise, and you'll be healthy. That's my problem.
Losing weight is something that you want to do, please go do it. Literally nobody is telling you not to do it. Your body is your
okay. I'm not going to be repeating myself.
Your body is your body, and you have the autonomy and the right to make the decision that you feel is best. What you don't have the right to do is go around and shame other people in other bodies for their decisions. If you're
At what point did you do that?
The reason for losing weight is so that you can turn back around and shame the very community that was there for you.
No, the reason for her for losing weight was because she cared about her health. It was the moment she had an awakening and she said, "Oh my God, I lost a friend. I'm seeing these influencers dying, probably due to their weight. I don't want that to happen to myself. I'm not going to risk my life for a movement."
Never loved your body and you never loved yourself. We have to do better. This message is
agreed. Gotta do better. We gotta do better. We gotta stop telling lies on TikTok. We gotta stop twisting people's words in order to deliver a message. We gotta stop, like turning a blind eye into a movement that for years have shamed people that wanted to lose weight intentionally. Saying that you cannot post before and after pictures. Saying that if you don't want to date a fat person, you're fat phobic. Saying that if your doctor says you have to lose weight, he's being fat phobic. What? And that's what I'll leave here today. The video. I am very angry, stressed out because, well, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about it. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Check out my last video here. And if today's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.